Hi, I'm Mo, and dirt bikes.
And I'm TJ, or as I was known in elementary school, the skid mark kid.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to A Student of Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, he just said I'm here to watch every movie ever made to be invited to parties.
Yes, and so that we can share our endless pools of knowledge with you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You think we'll be invited because of the dirt bike kid?
I mean, we weren't after the night at the Magic Asshole, so
No, we're not,
I'm
no.
going to assume that now, yes, we
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah.
This is much different than the
Yeah.
night at the Magic Asshole.
True. In some ways similar, and I'll bring that up later. But
Okay.
yes.
In some ways similar, in some ways different.
Yes. But TJ, before we get into our conversation about the movies, let's get into a conversation about, I guess, the movies, but not this movie.
Other movies.
Other movies.
Other things.
Other
Other
things.
media.
Other media.
happenings in our
Yes.
lives. Sure. What would we call this exactly?
The Banter Zone.
We've just crossed over into the Banter
The Banter
Zone.
Zone. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
My God, I got to record that on a keyboard.
Yeah, that's definitely way better than the Banter Zone, just like Danger Zone.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
All right, TJ, why don't you start us off?
Oh, sure. What did I watched The Substance. That was really good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really liked that actually.
That is great. I watched it too.
And then I was surprised. I watched it actually for another friend's podcast. They wanted me on there. Unfortunately, that had to change.
What is your other friend's podcast called?
Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. It's James's podcast.
Ah.
James and his friend Tommy. And I actually was free on Monday night, and I said, you know what? If you give me the movie, I'll watch it. And then they had to cancel for whatever reason. But the movie of that week was The Substance, so I watched it. And then when I texted them about it, they said they didn't like it.
What?
Yeah, spoiler to that week's episode,
Well,
I guess.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say.
Your friend James like the 13 Ghosts, the remake, right? He loves that movie. That's
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Minor conceptual spoilers of The Substance, not plot spoilers, just conceptual. It's not a horror movie that's rooted in our reality.
Yeah.
It's a satire in that, there's no real world logistics in that,
Yeah.
nobody's...
And one of the plot is like they become a major star by being an exercise model,
Correct.
which would be probably possible in 1980, but
Correct. Well, there's no
2020.
like wondering, oh, where did this new young sensation come?
Yeah.
She's not filling out tax paperwork or anything.
Yeah.
It's all surface level satire stuff, but I thought it was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of like Cronenberg stuff from
Yeah.
the 80s. I really enjoyed The Substance.
We haven't had really a gross movie in a while, like one that really just disgusts you. I mean, there was the what was the movie that Emma Stone was in? She was in.
Like a body horror?
Yeah, it was like the guy who made Dogtooth and what was it called? Emma Stone was in a movie. She was played like a girl who had a brain switched.
Let's see.
What was it? It was just released like a year ago.
Oh, Poor Things.
Poor Things. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was in
okay,
Poor Things.
duh.
Which, if you saw that, yeah, that was kind of
I didn't see Poor Things or Kinds of Kindness, but I respect I respect the hell
Kinds of
out of
Kindness was nasty. I loved it.
Oh, I've heard that they're both nasty and they're
Yeah.
both great. I just love that director specifically is like I know he's not single-handedly doing it. It just feels like he's single-handedly like fighting for like to save cinema as like it used to be, the auteur style
Yeah.
of movie making. Because people like to bitch about how everything's franchise oriented today,
Yeah.
and it's true. But guess whose fault that is? It's the market.
Yeah.
Look at this Minecraft movie that's about to make hundred.
Is it really going to make $1 million? $100 million or whatever? How much
It's gonna
is
make a shitload of money. I mean, Minecraft is the highest selling video game of all time. It beat
Yeah,
Tetris,
but like
actually.
Five Nights at Freddy's is also a very popular game. It may not be as popular
I
as
think-
Minecraft, but I don't think that was a hit.
I don't think it's as popular. And Five
Well-
Nights,
Five Nights is getting a sequel, so I shouldn't say when it is not.
but it also no, you're right. But it also I think came out. I don't know. It was more streaming heavy. Because that I remember Five Nights at Freddy came out and it was on Peacock immediately.
Mm-hmm.
This one, as far as I know, is all theatrical. So maybe it's just the timing's better for it. But all I'm saying is I would not be surprised if the Minecraft movie stays at the top of the box office for several weeks here.
That's possible.
And the thing is, I never was a big Minecraft player. I tried it. I'm not creative enough to like take it to its limits. But I respect the hell out of its concept, and I absolutely think that there is a lot of actual merit to that as a video game. It's got, it's actually worthwhile. I would say.
Well, while we say this, I have looked up the gross of the Minecraft movie, and according to an article in Deadline, it saw a $163 million U.S. Canada opening and $150 million abroad, and that makes it $313 worldwide. So
there you go.
We're wrong about that. Yes, it's a huge hit. Of course, people want to see Minecraft. Because kids love Minecraft. I don't know. It's just like they want to see just like guy blew up or whatever it is. They want to So they want to see diamond swords. That's all they want to see.
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe they just love Jack Black. Those kids. You know?
I was watching Red Letter Media. I think they did the Minecraft movie. Yes.
I watched that too. That was funny.
It's all for that one kid who likes to joke butt or something like that, and that's it.
Yeah, didn't they only stay for half of it or
stay
something?
for half of it and then they left? Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's tough to reconcile what the state of movies has been, because I personally have really enjoyed like the first, the part of the MCU that everybody universally enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then I was ready for it to go back to auteur movies,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that just doesn't seem to be what the market wants or what it's demanding at this time. And who knows, that could change. I mean, hell, before the heyday of the Kubricks and I guess Billy Wilder was even before them. But I mean, it would be unprecedented.
Well, it's a possibility. Yeah. I mean, back in so one of the major strikes in Hollywood was in the 1960s, if you don't know. Okay. Mm-hmm. So back in the 60s, studios had problems. Studio system was failing. It was gone. And because they couldn't own theaters anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all contracts and stuff like that because of unions. So they were drowning. They were basically, it was all westerns. It was all musicals. Yeah. All of them big, bloated. It was just like, it was too much. And they weren't really doing great successfully, money-wise. I think there's also a third movie in there, but I forget. Third type of movie that was also wasn't doing well either. So back in the 70s, it basically gave auteurs basically any chance they get to get something new, blood in there, to make sure that we could have more money. So that way, they don't have to spend $20 million on a Dr. Dolittle musical.
That ultimately somehow is still widely remembered, but nobody actually likes it.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the only one is the cheapest one, is the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle.
It's interesting, isn't it? There's a really good quote by George Lucas, of all people. Yeah. It's actually brilliant, because he was by definition, George Lucas had control over every aspect of basically any movie he's worked, at least post-American Graffiti. I think even that one he did. But he had a great quote about how his heyday of movie making worked, and it was that the studio it was gambling. The studio would find this young director who, to them, we don't understand him, we don't understand the way he thinks, but we're going to give him this much money and he's going to go turn it into a ridiculous profit.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw with the Spielbergs and Lucases, Kubricks, etc.
Well, that's the thing, they used to give people chances. It's not okay, so this is basically how the model starts now for new upcoming directors. Basically, you make a movie that's cheap, that has some buzz, maybe gain some money and stuff like that. And then these big studios hook you to a giant multi-million-dollar franchise, like $400 million, $300 million movies. So basically, they can control you because they don't know what they're doing. These young directors, so it's according to what I read or watch and stuff like that. So that way, they can just say they get you to do what they want them to do. So yeah,
sure,
so,
absolutely. No, I mean they'll Disney will empower a Rian Johnson, but then keep him within some guardrails or whatever. I don't know. Either way, hopefully we see a move back to just something. I just hope that the mainstream film audience smartens up to some degree, I guess. I don't know how to put that without sounding like an elitist asshole, but I guess I'll just sound like one. So I watched The Substance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I watched Primal Fear because I was really sick last weekend with food poisoning, and it was just on Paramount. I didn't want to have to think too much, but I wanted something to distract me. Good movie. I forgot how many times. Well, actually, I found it. The guys on We Hate Movies reviewed it the other week, and I liked their show. And they reminded. I completely forgot John Mahoney was in it.
Oh, really?
What a hell of a career he had in the '90s. Because they made it a point like that. That movie came out in the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
It had Andre Braugher in supporting role.
Yeah.
Francis McDormand in a very small supporting role as
Yeah.
the psychologist that studies him.
Yeah.
Maura Tierney as a small supporting role, even though she was at that point, I think, on ER already.
Yeah.
At least close to it. She'd been on News Radio, at least, for what that's worth.
Yeah, I think she was on News Radio then. And
definitely.
The 2000s?
But like John Mahoney was obviously a big TV star at that point.
Also, Laura Linney was in that
Laura
movie?
Linney was in it, yeah. Like, what a hell of a cast that really was.
And then
Stephen Bauer was in it.
Stephen Bauer.
Yeah.
Damn. And the introduction of Edward Norton.
Oh, and he's... he is fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic in that movie.
The thing people noticing now, like, he used to be, like, he wanted to be, like, a Robert De Niro type, because he came out the gate hot. He had the Primal Fear. I think he did 25th Hour and stuff like that. He was coming hot. Some people consider he kind of had an attitude about stuff. Then he had some failures. And now he's just playing, like a doofus all the time. So he's like a lovable rich guy, or an evil rich guy, or a doofus. That's it.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know he's notoriously difficult to work with.
Yeah.
I've never worked with him, so I wouldn't know the specifics.
We have never worked with Edward Norton.
We've never worked with Edward Norton.
No.
But for the most part, I like him as an actor, and I think that he was damn good in that movie.
Yeah.
And then I tried to watch the first half. I tried to watch Evil Under the Sun from the 70s. It's an Agatha Christie, one of the Hercule Poirot movies. I love those movies, at least those types of, mysteries. Unfortunately, I could not make it through that one, but it had Diana Rigg and Roddy McDowall were in it. And I can never remember the guy who plays Hercule Poirot in that era. I can't remember his name. But anyway, couldn't make it through it, unfortunately, and now it's no longer free on Prime, so I'll probably never see it. Otherwise, I finished the first Hyperion book. It was the new science fiction, not new, it's from the 80s, but new to me, damn it. Science fiction stories I've been reading. And what was interesting about that is it completely subverts expectations, to use that fun little phrase, where it's about these 7 pilgrims who are going to the planet Hyperion to visit this creature called the Shrike, which is like a godlike creature that nobody knows its origins. It can like bend time, and it's like basically all powerful. And there's rumor, like legend of it, that you have to go see it in sevens, or at least a group of people that's a prime number. Everybody gets one wish, only one wish gets granted, everyone else gets killed.
Damn.
So you think the story's going to tell you who's going to get their wish granted, who's going to end up dead. What it is, more or less, was kind of like a modern science fiction retelling of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. So basically, during the journey, the 7 pilgrims tell their stories of how they're tied to that planet Hyperion, and that's the whole book. You don't really get anything. The sequel, I guess, fills in the rest of the answers. But long story short, really good. Definitely different. I'm surprised there hasn't been a streaming service series yet. But
I don't think they've gone into the high conscious like sci-fi yet, or like.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, they're getting there with Dune. Now, Dune's interesting because Dune has a lot of mainstream appeal to it. Yeah, definitely. I would argue this could too, but it would have to be reworked a little bit. But Dune, make no mistake about it, there is a lot of subtext in those books about power dynamics and just politics and religion.
Well, there hasn't been like a huge sci-fi like series in a while. It hasn't been like in the people like movie like companies are now trying to make like the next Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. That's all they've been doing. That's why they've been buying up the property of J.R. Tolkien.
You sure they want to do that?
Yeah, they all just want to make sure they have the next Game of Thrones because, as many people know, Game of Thrones was huge, not just for like geeks or fans who really love sci-fi, really love fantasy and stuff. Huge for everybody, like moms, dads, like all across the country. Your aunt would like watch Game of Thrones, and that's insane to think.
It was the last water cooler TV show I think that we'll possibly ever have with how fragmented the TV's become.
Yeah, so they don't want like fans like us, even though I'm not really a big fan of fans. They don't want fans who like are really into like movies and stuff like that. They want like the broadest of audiences. So that's what they're trying to do. So there hasn't really been a sci-fi show that's really captured the broadest of audience. So That's if they do decide to pick it up, maybe that could be the show. But that hasn't really been. I mean, there's Star Trek still, but once again, really niche audience. I don't think Star Trek, like new Star Trek shows, have reached the broader appeal.
I got to get on Strange New Worlds because again, it's bizarre. I love Star Trek, but like I've seen the first 5 series, which I consider basically like not new Trek, and I don't say new Trek as like a disparaging thing like some fans do, but
Yeah.
I watched some of Discovery and thought it was good to mid, and then Picard seasons 1 and 2 I've heard 3 was excellent, so I got to get back onto that.
Yeah.
So thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome.
But otherwise not too much else. So how about you?
I watched a few movies. Let me just check my Letterboxd. That's right, folks. I'm on Letterboxd. It is Michael Mosherry.
Yeah, and while I'm at it, I'm on Letterboxd as well. Mike Mosherry.
Still hate you did that.
Mike
Still hate you did that.
Mosherry
Still
is
hate
my
you.
Letterboxd.
Okay, I watched the new movie Mikey 17.
Yeah.
It's really good. A lot of heavy-handed stuff. You definitely tell it's a Trump allegory, which I'm going to say is a bad thing because what's going on right now, I don't think it's good.
Topical.
Topical. Very overhanded, definitely kind of force feeds it to you, but still good. I mean, Robin Pattinson gave an amazing performance. So a fun movie, so I would go check it out, definitely.
Good.
I watched a movie called High School USA. It's an 80s, I think, TV movie with Michael J. Fox in it.
You would watch that in
Yeah.
your free time.
I just got bored. I was just like, what's a weird movie I can watch? I just want, like I said, you watch Primal Fear because
Yeah,
you want to watch
sure.
something with your brain off. It's like, what movie can I watch with my brain off? Like High School USA. It's basically a bunch of stars from like TV shows from like NBC back in the 80s. I think Joe from The Facts of Life's in it. I forget. Somebody from Happy Days is in it. One from what's the one with Gary Coleman? What was that show called?
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes. One of the kids are in that one. Basically, Crispin Glover's in it.
Nice.
Yeah. So so is one of the guy who plays in ER, the guy from Revenge of the Nerds, and Top Gun, Moose. I forgot his name. Basically, like a lot of stars from the 80s TV shows are in it. It's basically about how Michael J. Fox wants to get this girl, but the girl's dating the rich boy in school who like controls the school and everything. And they challenge each other to a race, and that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was
But I
that?
want to say Crispin Glover, magnifique.
He's always a treat. And
Yeah.
rest in peace to his father who just passed away,
Oh,
Bruce
God.
Glover.
Damn, it sucks.
He was a good He was a very memorable henchman in Diamonds Are Forever. Although he and his partner, they were Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint, were probably a little less than progressively, portrayed, but
Yeah.
still very memorable henchmen.
I remember them more as like, Mr. Wint and Mr. What were their names again?
Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint.
Mr. Kidd and Mr. Wint. I remember the Kids Next Door parody
Yeah.
of them more
Yeah.
than the actual ones.
I can't remember what they were called. I do
Yeah.
remember them though. They
Yeah, I
were fun.
remember watching that. I remember watching the movie with you. I was like, wait a minute, is this how they got those characters?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It was Bruce Glover as the one.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. And rest in peace to Val Kilmer, too.
Yeah. So basically, if you want like a fun 80s movie that's nonsense, there's a robot in it. You know, there's Crispin Glover being a weirdo trying to get girls, and Michael J. Fox gives a great performance because he's this Michael J. Fox and he has all the charisma in the world, especially in the 80s. Definitely watch that one. It's just a fun, stupid 80s movie.
Have you ever seen Crispin Glover's dance in Friday the 13th 4?
Yes.
So apparently that's actually how he would dance at Hollywood, like LA clubs at the time.
That's cool. Ever seen his music career?
No.
Yes. You
I
like
think you
Clowns,
told me
Clowns,
about
Clowns.
it.
Yeah, you love that. I'll send it to you later.
What is it called?
Clowns, Clowns, Clowns.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it better than Corey Feldman's music career?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. I watched the movie called The Dogfight. Actually, really romantic movie. It stars... What happened?
Nothing. I didn't expect a movie called The Dogfight to be a
Dogfight,
romance story.
So it stars Lily Taylor. No, I think that's her name. No, Lily Taylor is the daughter of Aerosmith's Steven Tyler, right?
It's Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler. Okay, so it is Lily Taylor. My fault. Okay, so Lily Taylor and River Phoenix star in it. This
forgive
was... I think this was a year before his death, I believe. I think this was 1991. It's basically him. This is 1964, right before Vietnam happened. The night before Kennedy is assassinated, basically this happens. Okay. Him and River Phoenix and his 4 friends who are going to go out to war soon. They have one night before they ship off, and I think they're in San Francisco, I believe. So they have a thing called the dogfight in the Navy or in the military, basically where it's a dance where cadets or army personnel or whatever the fuck they're called, they find the ugliest girl they can find and they bring him to the dance, and then people will judge who's the ugliest, and whoever is the ugliest wins the whole pot, which is like $75 per person. So really cool thing, really not cool, but that was a thing back in the '60s, I guess. So River Phoenix tries to find a date. He finds Lily Taylor. She's not like completely ugly. She's a very homey girl who works with her mother in a diner they own.
Okay.
So they find each other. She finds out about the dog fight. They slap. She gets angry, and then River Phoenix apologizes, and they begin to fall in love. So, yeah, that's basically the plot of the movie. It's very romantic, very great acted movie. It's very tender and sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's just you check that out if you want to.
All right.
Dog fight. Especially River Phoenix. He gives an amazing performance in it. Yeah.
I have not seen nearly enough with River Phoenix in it.
Yeah, I've seen a few. There's Running on Empty. That's the one where
Always wanted to see that with Judd
Hirsch,
right?
yeah, where he isn't in family or Runaways because
I've heard
his
that's
parents blew up a
outstanding.
lab back in the '70s.
I've heard that's a really good
That's a
movie.
good one. I've seen Little Nikita.
Stand By Me I've seen, obviously.
Stand By Me I've seen. I've seen Sneakers.
I've not seen Sneakers.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've seen My Own Private Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've
I
seen
haven't
that.
seen that one either.
But if you want to check out more River Phoenix, definitely check out Dogfight. Really romantic, very sweet movie.
Cool.
I love it. Then I saw The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes film.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was great.
Cool.
It was funny.
Did you go to see that in theaters?
Yeah, it was funny. It was
Ew.
zany. Some parent bought a kid. Who dares bring a kid to a kid's movie?
Oh, jeez. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
kids will ruin a movie.
I know.
Day,
I know.
Well, I guess we'll take this win.
We'll take this one.
Because I did see that they had that movie coming out, and I thought, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Old school
It's really funny. It's about Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. There's a character named Farmer John who's like the father, and he looks like he's just a cutout photo of a lumberjack. It's hilarious, yeah. It really brings back like, you know how Daffy Duck was always like the serious duck or something like opposed to Buster Bunnies. It really brings back.
He's the straight man, I guess.
Yeah, he's always angry and stuff, always plotting stuff. This is like, no, Daffy Duck's a Looney Tune. He's just insane, and so yeah, so it's
Cool.
great, yeah.
Good. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, so definitely, if you guys want, please support 2D animation so they make more.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go on VOD or whatever you need to do to show that people have interest in it.
Yeah.
Because more Looney Tunes or more 2D movies are great. So yeah,
Both 2D and 3D have their merits. It doesn't
True.
have to be one or the other, you know?
that's true. That's true. Let's see. Anything else that I watch? No, not really. No, I think that was mostly it. I've actually finished a book that I've been meaning to finish a long time. It's called the Saturday Night Ghost Club. It's basically about a kid. I think I told you about this last time. It's about a kid in Niagara Falls in Canada back in the '80s. Growing up, his uncle is into like the paranormal stuff or weird stuff. So basically, like once a week, they go out to these like haunted places, supposedly haunted places, and his uncle tells us like these elaborate tales of like things that happen to people. Like there's a car in a river. They said two lovers accidentally went off the bridge and into the river and died, or like there was a house where 2 burglars broke in and killed the wife and stuff like that. So basically horror tales. It also tells them how he grows up in the '80s, like his first love and like his best friend and stuff like that. And it turns out the whole thing, if you don't mind spoilers, it's so every story he tells them, like he goes to the house that's burned down. He tells them a tale of the house that burned down, the tale of the car that's in the river, what happened to them. And he goes to a graveyard and he's about to tell a tale. And then his mom finds his uncle and begins to calm him down. Turns out all the stories are about him. So he has these. A while back ago, he married this woman, and they had a child. Unfortunately, somebody did break in and almost murdered her. And he's screaming, going crazy. He's trying to get to the hospital. I think he's beaten up too, and he's trying to go to the hospital. And then unfortunately, something happens. He drives off the cliff. The car goes in the water. He's somehow outside the water and gets amnesia. He doesn't remember the thing. Doesn't remember anything about his wife or anything after that. And so I think it's just him just reliving those moments because something inside him, it connects it to him. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nice.
If
Well
that's
said.
interesting. Yeah.
That sounds like a good story.
Right now I'm reading what's it called? The Monkey? Not The Monkey. It's there was an Apple TV show starring Vince Vaughn about it. Monkey Punch or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mystery novel about people scamming health insurance. A man who faked his own death and a former private eye, now food inspector, trying to solve the case. Yeah.
Nice.
hmm Yeah,
That
so that's
sounds
about
great.
it. Yeah.
That's some great media consumption.
Great media consumption.
Keep it up.
I'm
And
trying.
listeners, consume. Consume
Consume.
media.
Consume content.
Consuming,
Consume.
That's
Consume.
That's right.
That's right. Yes, that's all we should do. Anyway, I think that's the end of our banter time. So let's exit the banter zone. We're now exiting the banter zone. I think Rod Sterling is like, no, you guys can leave the Twilight Zone. You don't have to stay in here. I think he just ever told like the
Trade like company there.
yeah. I'm like, you're now in the Twilight Zone, and somebody says, I don't want to be in the Twilight Zone. Can I be somewhere else? And he was like, no.
Suppose if you want to.
Yes, you can leave the
I
Twilight
won't
Zone.
make you stay.
Yes.
But as you try to walk away, you'll find that your shoes are stuck to the floor.
Yes. If you leave, you will not have my quiche I just prepared.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Or
Well,
he gives them the quiche and then they
yeah.
drop it.
And then they drop it. It's like,
As soon as they leave the Twilight Zone, they
Yeah.
drop it.
they drop
It's
it.
not fair.
All
All right, enough.
Enough of that. Enough of that. Let's talk about a movie. These are the last of my movies. I call them the childhood torture films. This is the last one, and this one is called The Dirt Bike Kid, released in 1985, directed by Hoyt C. Caston. Screenplay by David Brandis and Lewis Kolick of October Sky, Judgment Night, and Charlie St. Cloud. For those of you who do not remember Judgment Night, it's the only movie where you just remember the soundtrack. Because that was the one where they had hip-hop and like rock bands combined.
Okay.
So you got like House of Pain and Sonic Youth and stuff like that. Or was it so mixed a lot and Sonic Youth? I always forget.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
So it's like The Bodyguard, where nobody remembers the movie. or
Yeah, that's the
cares about
song. Yeah,
movie,
that's the song. Yeah. Produced by Julie Corman, which, if you know that last name, you know who
Oh, I
she's
didn't
married
even think
to.
about that. Is this a Roger Corman joint?
I
type of
believe
thing, or
so.
Roger Corman.
there's a
Oh,
quote-
yep.
There's a quote saying that she funded it herself, but I think he may have come back to her when he saw like something in it. I'm not sure. But it's produced by Julie Corman, the wife of Roger Corman. Better known for producing Night Call Nurses, Candy Stripe Nurses, Saturday the 14th, and Chopping Mall.
Saturday the 14th and Chopping Mall's actually good.
Yeah.
That's a good
Thing
movie.
about Chopping Mall, it doesn't have like enough head explosions. You'd have that one
Mm-hmm.
head explosion. You expect like it to ramp up, but really it doesn't.
Yeah, which is kind of an interesting. That brings up kind of an interesting philosophical question.
Yeah.
Is it better to have all those head explosions, or do they devalue with each head explosion?
That's
if you
true.
have That? So
That's true.
I kind of stand by the just one, but I also understand why someone would be disappointed that there was only one.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, after head explosions, you expect it to go up, but you're like,
Right, that's the problem. I think they played that card too soon.
yeah,
But,
definitely.
Oh well.
All right, starring Peter Billingsley, A Christmas Story, and Arcade, the Full Moon Picture Classic. Stuart Pankin, Fatal Attraction, Arachnophobia, Mannequin 2 on the Move, Congo, and Baby Huey's Great Easter Adventure.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun one for next
it
season.
is. Yes, it is. Yes. If you think it's a cartoon, it's not. It's live action. It has a man in a giant duck costume.
That's a shame.
Yep. Anne Bloom, the first season of Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which I did not even recognize, because I actually own the first season of Parker Lewis Can't Lose on DVD. Still want the other ones. I think they're out of print, but I still want it. Patrick Collins and Danny Breen of Not Necessarily the News, which was like a parody news TV show back in the 80s from HBO, and a producer on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Ah.
Yes. So TJ, I introduced this movie. Now, what is this movie? Can you please give us a synopsis?
Of course, it'd be my pleasure.
Of course, a horse.
Dirt bike enthusiast Jack, although for this review I'll be calling him Ralphie because he's fucking Ralphie, lives in a suburban colonial with his single, unemployed mother. The 80s, am I right? To help free her up for job interviews, his mother entrusts Ralphie with a grocery run with the family's last $50, which he instead uses to purchase a dirt bike. But not just any dirt bike. This one is sentient and has magic powers. Ralphie is seemingly the bike's chosen, as despite his mother's sale of it to a local shopkeeper, it keeps finding a way back to him. Ralphie plays baseball, and his team is coached and sponsored by Mike, owner of the local Doghouse restaurant, which is under immediate threat by the expansion of Hodgkins Bank, who owns the land on which the doghouse sits. Ralphie, aided by the bike, as well as his mother, Coach Mike, Hodgkins Bank Secretary Ms. Clavel, and his horny school chum Bo, set out to thwart the bank's president, Mr. Hodgkins, who enlists the local police force and motorcycle gang against Ralphie and his collaborators. On the day of the doghouse's scheduled demolition, they successfully delay proceedings through protest, and Ralphie kidnaps Hodgkins on his dirt bike. Evading law enforcement and the biker gang, Ralphie's increasingly reckless daredevil antics ultimately convince Hodgkins to call off the restaurant's demolition, and everyone cheers as the bike launches the stodgy banker into a muddy river, which I'm pretty sure could constitute aggravated assault. The film cuts to months later, where we then see that Hodgkins Megabank is opening alongside a fully overhauled doghouse. Ralphie's mother is now a self-employed business consultant overseeing the dual grand opening ceremony, and Ms. Clavel, the doghouse's newest employee, is noticeably pregnant with Coach Mike's child. And as part of his bargain with Ralphie, Mr. Hodgkins appears at the ceremony in full hot dog regalia to declare the two businesses open. On his way back to his limo, he passes former biker gang leader Big Slime, who is now the bank's newest teller, and he demands he remove his earrings before starting work. Ralphie and the dirt bike, having completed their mission, go their separate ways when the latter identifies another young child it deems worthy of it, to Ralphie's gleeful approval. In the end, some hilarity ensues. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it.
Okay.
That's
It's not
pretty-
as long-winded as most of
Yeah.
my synopsises, but, I think that this movie was pretty concise.
Yeah. I would say
Like
this is
90
definitely
minutes.
the most movies of my movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would have said movies, you would think this one.
Yeah, this was definitely most like a movie.
Yeah.
Of the three. There was no weird obsession with a niche hobby.
No.
There was no ghost of a celebrity that was made, and no effort was put into making him look like that celebrity.
Yeah.
It was just, this was a competent children's 80s film,
Yes.
I would say.
But there was magic.
There was magic.
There was magic.
There was magic in this movie in the form of the sentient dirt bike,
Yeah.
which is as good a place as any to start.
Yeah. I do love the very first thing we know about the sentient dirt bike is that everybody knows it's a magic dirt bike and they don't care. They don't care.
They never acknowledge.
They never acknowledge it. It's like,
Nobody
it's
freaks
magic.
out. Nobody freaks out that the fact that it's a magic dirt bike. At one point, the police arrest the dirt bike
Yeah.
and put it in a jail cell. His mother doesn't seem to overly question how he keeps getting this bike back.
Yeah.
The store owner she sells it to, who looked like a bargain bin Stephen Root, didn't seem to notice when he brought it back and tried to sell it again to him.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a sentient dirt bike?
Well, it would have been good if he had anything to do with the movie, but I think you could have made this whole movie and not have the dirt bike.
Yeah, it's just kind of, we need this kid to be obsessed with something.
Yeah, we
So-
need like a hit. We need like a pitch. So it was like we need a hit. So it was like, what can we do? Dirt bikes are popular. Let's just have a kid ride a dirt bike.
Right, which
Yeah.
is fine, I guess, but there's just,
There's no like Herbie fully loaded rules. Even though like love bug rules. Like people aren't freaked out that the car's alive. They just accept it.
yeah.
So it's really weird. It's just like.
Maybe they just think escalators are sentient.
Yeah.
Maybe it's nothing new to them.
I know.
Maybe they think helicopters are sentient. Anything that they're not personally driving. Like they get in a plane and they don't realize that it's
Yeah.
being controlled by a human. Who knows? Who knows in the dirt bike kidiverse how these people, view such transportative technologies.
Yeah. In fact, one of the first questions I had is, how does a dirt bike save a hot dog stand?
Did you not watch the film?
Yes. I still don't know the answer. How did that dirt bike save the hot dog stand?
Kidnapping and fear tactics.
Yeah.
Things along, threat of physical violence against a businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why dirt bikes? I think you nailed it because they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
And this was mid-'80s. I have no issue with the dirt bike thing. I think that they paint Ralphie as a little jerk in the first scene, only
Yeah.
to then for the rest of the movie make him out to be a choir boy.
I do like in the very first minute, like very first second of the movie, it's video game sounds for some reason. It's like poo poo, and then it cuts to Ralphie. Also, weird seeing Ralphie in like modern 1980s.
Yeah,
it's weird. You expect him just to be in the 1940s or 50s.
Right, perpetually in the Christmas story.
I think that's why he never really got out of that, because people was like, "You're Ralphie. You're not."
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're not Philly
He got
Billsy.
typecast
Yeah.
like nothing else. Yeah, I mean, what did you expect? I guess.
I do love how the direction was probably like, just yell a lot. That's all you have to do. Yell all your lines and make it very direct.
It's an easy directing job then.
True.
There.
That was every character in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? You know what I would argue about this movie as opposed to the other ones that you picked?
Yeah.
The characters were, I won't say fully three-dimensional, but they were two-dimensional.
That's true.
Okay? We actually had characters with motives, and although they may not have been fazed by a sentient dirt bike, they felt more or less real. We don't know where Ralphie's dad is, right?
We do not know, no.
But his mother is desperately trying to get a job and be a single mother and, just take care of things. She's shown as, a boss bitch, or whatever the phrase is.
Girl boss.
Yeah. Boss bitch.
Boss bitch.
That's so misogynistic.
Yeah.
My apologies. A girl boss without it feeling like it's just like it's unearned.
Yeah.
She definitely is a matriarch of the family and a well fleshed out character, I would say, for a kids movie.
Yeah.
She's clearly frustrated with him for not listening to her or for not,
But TJ, when he cleaned that dirt bike in a very great cleaning scene.
Oh, yeah, that overly sensual.
Yeah.
Bike
sensual? I don't know. I
felt like it was sensual.
It was like, how do we make cleaning cool? And it was like, just add music to it, and it was just very slow.
An 80s music montage. Okay, I think it's modern sensibilities of having scenes like this parodied to death with car wash.
I think they should have had that perverted friend help him clean it. I don't know why he didn't do it.
Yeah, his little school chum Bo,
yeah.
who we're introduced to at a dirt bike rally, showing Ralphie, "Hey Ralphie, check this out," and it's a mom with just hooters jumping up and down in excitement, and it's like, wow. Well, I guess we know.
Yeah, that kid creeped me out.
Around what ages these kids are.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and I mean, well, what's weird is that a director had to direct this kid in that role. You know what I mean? That somebody wrote a kid in this role, but it was the 80s. I guess you had, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, and it's more this yelling, acting. It's like, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Right, but then it's a whole theme with that Bo character. I'm gonna get girls.
Yeah, I'm gonna get girls. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my dirt bike. But let's see. And I said you got more fleshed out characters. Who else do we have? We have
Stuart Pankin's character.
Yes, Stuart Pankin. Yes, that's his name.
That's
I know from a really good Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Yeah.
Where he plays an Orthodox Jewish man that Larry needs a favor from. So he pretends to be an Orthodox Jew himself, and he's just making guttural noises to act like he's speaking Yiddish. It's the funniest thing. It's so shitty.
Yeah.
But I knew I recognized his face, and sure enough, when I looked him up, he was that character.
Yeah, he was in a lot of things in the 90s for especially kids films. He was in Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. What's the ones where the parents shrink? That's the one he did. He was in a bunch of them. He was in Big Bully. He was in a bunch of kids films in the 90s.
Well, he found his niche then.
Found his niche.
I mean, obviously not a super three-dimensional character, but a good
villain. Kids villain.
A good kids movie villain. A good presentation of the shitty side of yuppieism, right?
Did you find it weird that he tried to trap a girl?
Yes, so I do have that on my notes. There are explicit rape jokes in this movie.
He calls his dog so that way she won't escape.
Yeah, so he does this with Ralphie's mom too at one point, who goes to interview for a job with the bank, and he basically says, "Well, why don't we have dinner?" And Ralphie's mom clearly sniffs that out as a what it is. And then later, when Ralphie and the dirt bike show up at his house, is that what happened?
Yeah.
He's downstairs with a woman, and when he goes to answer the door, she breaks the window to escape.
Yeah.
He goes down to the basement again, or to the wherever, or up to the room, whatever, and he's sees the window broken. He says, I knew I should have installed those bars on that window.
Yep.
So, yes, there are very... it's funny and terrifying in a meta way, just how many times sexual assault and rape is joked about in this movie. And it's... When I say in a meta way, I mean it's just like funny to like look. This is in a kids movie.
Yeah.
Granted, not the most mainstream of kids movies, but if you look at stuff like even Big or Splash, from this era, like it wasn't uncommon to have sexuality joked about, or just like kind of flirting with sexuality themes in kids movies or family movies at the time. So in a way, this fit right into me, but like, wow, that was seriously a rape. He was definitely going to rape that woman.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
No doubt about that.
No doubt about it. I do love the interactions between him and Ralphie, though. Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he's looking at this kid and the dirt bike. He treats like the dirt bike is its own character. And like, he's telling the police, get that dirt bike. If I see that kid or that dirt bike, there's a whole running joke that the police chief has a loan waiting for approval at the bank. And, you know, he's using that as Hodgkins is using it as leverage over him. If I see that kid or that dirt bike anywhere near me, your loan will be, you'll be living in an outhouse or whatever. Yeah. It's here. I guess I can go. I can do this because unlike the last two pieces of shit that you chose, this movie actually has a lot to say about themes that I would argue are still topical. Okay. One. Do the ends justify the means? Example, Ralphie bursting into the bank owner's office during a meeting and being chastised by his mom saying, you can't do that now. There's a better way to do this. And he says, how though? So it's almost like that peaceful protest versus non-peaceful protest. Two, going through the system versus taking what you want. Kind of tangential to what I just said. Basically, this movie, I don't want to be hyperbolic, predicted Luigi Mangione?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe he saw it as a youngster.
Yes. I can just kidnap the CEOs,
or just murder them on the street.
Exactly.
Again, skeezy men using power to coerce sexual favors. That was obviously a big running quote unquote joke in this movie. Number 4, corporate expansion destroying small business. The Doghouse is a little hot dog stand restaurant, the kind you'd go to after your little league games.
True. With food fights, which I found very weird.
I was gonna, So, spoiler, like I said in the synopsis, they saved the restaurant. And my initial thought was, I bet you the actual staff of the Doghouse was so fucking mad that they saved it because those kids after these games have full-on food wars. Where Coach Mike might laugh and encourage it. Somebody's cleaning that shit up. And if it's me, I'm not working for Coach Mike for long. I'm hoping Coach Mike's fucking business goes under. For letting that shit happen. But that is a very, very timely, topical theme about how corporate expansion, the bank, destroys a small business, or tries to. And finally, always a favorite, the rich influencing law enforcement for their own benefit.
That's true.
Like I said, he's got the police chief on call, and he's, literally giving the commands.
Stuart Pankin's got the whole town on call. He's Stuart Pankin.
He does. He's Mr. Hodgkins.
Mr. Hodgkins.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mike. He's useless.
He is useless.
He's the most useless character ever. I call him a fake Bill Murray, or like the very poor attempt at Bill Murray. He's like, we need a funny guy for an adult, and I was like, can we get Bill Murray? No. Can we get the fourth guy kind of like Bill Murray? Yes.
Can we get Brian Doyle Murray? No.
No. Can we get the other Murray brother who was in a movie in the 80s? No. Can we get a guy kind of like Bill Murray? No. Can we get a guy like a quarter of Bill Murray? No. Can we get a guy like a 1% Bill Murray? No. Can we get a guy 0.5% Bill Murray? Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And I don't really get why they had the subplot of like him and the assistant falling in love.
Ms. Clavel.
Ms. Clavel.
Who is the coach of the rival team, and in the beginning of the movie, she has to pretend like she doesn't see the umpire makes a bad call that costs Mike's team the win, and she has to pretend, oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I can't bet, Mr. Hodgkins needs this win because
Yeah.
Mr. Hodgkins, if his little league team loses, she'll be fired or something.
Yeah.
Or he's just that big of a hard on that he needs his little league team to win.
Mm-hmm.
So she covers up the fact that the runner should have been safe. That would have given the doghouse the win. But that's her whole story. That's her whole
That's her whole
character
thing.
arc.
Yeah.
She goes from towing the company line to being her own.
Woman, yeah.
Well, not her own woman, but the doghouse. Doghouse's woman.
Independent. Not independent. Just free from tyranny.
Free from Hodgkins,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that's again where Girl Boss, Ralphie's mom, she's
Yeah.
the independent woman because at the
Sure.
end she's been looking for a job this whole movie. At the end, she's I think hinted at being just kind of like an independent consultant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
Girl Boss, baby.
Go boss. No
Yeah.
pregnant women. Yeah.
What did her shirt say? Miss Clavel's shirt. Did you see when she's pregnant? I think it literally just says Mike's with an arrow to
Yeah.
her belly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you that shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you that
Yeah.
fucking shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
But
Every time somebody brings up the word girl boss, I just think how like the original girl boss, that lady who like popularized it, is like fired pregnant women. Because she didn't like pregnant women, so it's just like,
jeez.
yeah.
Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the bike's alive. Nobody cares. The cleaning montage is boring, and just have fun with it. Like have them like I don't know, have the friends like spray water gun. I don't know, just do something. It's just literally a kid cleaning a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, like it's caked with mud, and he has
Caked
to
with
get the
mud.
chisel out to like
Yeah.
clean it, but then it immediately opens the garage door, and
Yeah.
this bike can not only is it sentient, it can fly.
It can fly.
Yeah.
It's like E.T. Except not E.T.
Yeah. Do you think it was influenced by E.T.?
Yes.
I think it was.
I think it was too.
Yeah, it takes some. What city is this, by the way?
I don't know. I'm guessing Cincinnati. I'm just gonna guess
Is
Cincinnati.
she a great guess?
Yes.
Because it's obviously not a New York. It's
Yeah.
obviously not a Chicago or a Detroit. I think Cincinnati's actually a
Yeah,
perfect
it's
guess.
just Cincinnati. That's it. Let's see. When he first drives the bike, it flies and lands into like a field or something. And they get into that's when they meet the biker king. What is with kids movies in the 80s and having adults bully children?
Oh, it's so good. It's so great. So Big Slime is the leader of this motorcycle
Yeah.
gang, and they at every turn want to beat the shit out of Ralphie.
Yeah.
I wrote this. This is verbatim. I've been looking forward to jumping up and down on your face.
What is with this? These guys are like almost in their 30s and they see like a 12-year-old child. And I was like, we're going to bully this kid.
That's definitely how James's
It's-
group, James's club acts, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's exactly like how in the Garbage Pail Kids, there's like a 12-year-old child, but he gets bullied by like 35-year-old men and women. I'm like, what's going on?
That is such a. That's what it reminded me of. Have you ever seen that South Park when they go to Aspen and the ski competition?
Yeah.
And Stan's getting picked on by like these pro skiers that
Yeah.
are like, Stan Darsh. They're just like being douchebags to him for no reason.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was like a joke, a recurring joke in 80s kids
Yeah.
movies, but it's so funny.
Always like older kids is bullying like 11-year-olds or 10-year-olds.
All right, like it's one thing when Ralphie gets bullied by
Max?
Is that the bully's name in
I
Christmas?
guess so. I don't know, is he really a bully?
Max in this movie, sure, yeah.
Yeah, is he really a bully? I mean, it seems like the acquaintances and they, I don't know. Like
They're mild antagonists.
Yeah, I guess so. They were really nice when he sold him the bike, but I
Yeah,
guess-
so okay, I guess we can go to this. Max is a little bit older. He originally has the dirt bike.
Yeah.
And he's losing races because the dirt bike. So the dirt bike's basically Mjolnir.
we forgot about the old man.
Yes.
We forgot about the old man.
So-
There's another old man in this movie. Another magic old man.
He's white this time.
He's white this time.
But yes, he doesn't look like him, but he kind of reminded me of what's his name, Al in Tool Time.
Yeah. He only just appears in like two
twice.
scenes in this movie, and it's like the right kid has invited, and then he disappears. He's
Yeah.
not seen in the whole movie.
He was like, yeah, in like a more competent movie, I feel like you'd see him somewhere like midway through
Yeah.
like the arc where
Yeah.
Ralphie's like
You would-
at his worst, and
Max
he's like,
would be like this bike sucks, and then he throws it at the owner, and it's just like and he's just like polishing it. It's like you're just not the right kid. And then he meets Ralphie on like a bad day or something, and it's like
you've got to unlock the magic of the bike.
this bike. But no, he shows up once.
He
and
shows
then
up once and disappears.
And then comes back when the new kid gets the bike.
I was really hoping that at the very end, when the new kid gets the bike and the guy shows up for the second time, I was really hoping that, like, as the kid was driving off with the bike, you saw a couple, like, Smith Grove Sanitarium employees being like, there he is! And, like, they go and they get the bald guy, and that would have been funny.
So 3 straight movies where you have creepy adults around children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That has been a through line.
Has been a through line through this series.
We'll see if Inside Llewellyn. What the fuck's that?
Inside Llewyn Davis, or the man who knew too much.
We'll see if either of those.
Have a magical old man. Yeah. So Max, basically, he's the bully, I guess, antagonist. He works for Pink Cow, and also then becomes a part of the bike gang.
Yeah. And he's mistreating the bike, and it's not, in turn, it's not listening to
evil enough. You got to be like cruel. You got to be like, that would be cruel. That have to be like bully or something like that.
Yeah.
Call him like snot breath or something. Like. But he's just like a regular kid who they hang with, who's sometimes a jerk. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think then they get along at the end of the movie.
Everyone knew a kid like that. He wasn't like an evil kid. He was just, he was a little angry. But he's the one that sells Max the bike for $50 and his BMX bike. I'm not Max, Ralphie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from there on, he's just kind of only there whenever he's needed.
He's not sniveling enough. He's not like...
No.
You need to be more like 80s obnoxious villain.
They kind of tease that he'd be like the little henchman of...
Pink Cow, yeah.
Yeah, of Hodgkins. And there's one point at the baseball game when Hodgkins says to him, you're so if you keep up these underhanded tactics, you'll make a great banker one day or something like that. So you think he's going to have a bigger role in the movie. He really doesn't, though.
Yeah.
It's all Hodgkins, man. He's the star of the show in terms of the villain,
Yes, definitely.
And I thought he was okay. I thought he was a fine enough villain. I liked the actor. The actor was good.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so Max gets the bike to Alfie, and then, the scene where he fixes up the bike and stuff like that. And then we find out the hot dog stand's closing. And then and it sets in motion, which...
There's really no, there's absolutely no, hint or foreshadowing of that, or, because, that's the funny thing. The doghouse isn't in financial trouble.
I don't think so.
Hodgkins owns the land, and he just wants to use the land.
So no, he doesn't own the land. He's going to sell the land to the bank and make $500,000.
No, he owns the land. That's why he wants the bank to move there, because then they have to pay him rent. And then the bank can presumably afford more in rent than...
I thought it was because he wants to sell the land for $500,000 to the bank. Did you
even watch the dirt bike? No, maybe you're right. You might be right, actually.
Yeah, because I remember the scene where they hacked it, and somehow the bike can get into electronic systems, and he gave Ralphie the idea to hack the system.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Bo and Ralphie hack into the bank's server.
Yeah,
they give an old widow $1 million, which is pretty cool of them. Definitely pretty cool of them. It's funny looking at movies like this, from the villain's point of view, in a real world perspective. Hodgkins is the one that would be considered the victim in our real world.
I don't know.
Aside from the sexual assault.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
But I'm just saying, public facing. They're going to find out about the bank fraud. They're going to find out about the hacking and the fraud and the kidnapping and the assault, and he's going to be painted as the victim. So this is why it's important to remember when you see those headlines that somebody higher up was victimized. You never know what skeletons they got in their closets.
Yeah, I do love when the motorcycle is helping Ralphie figure out the plan to hack the bank. There's just a photo of Pinkin that pops up in his computer.
That was pretty funny.
That was good.
Should the bike have had an R2-D2-esque voice?
Yeah, something like that, beeps or something. Have it more fun. I don't think they had enough money to make it more animatronic, like the Hurry the Love Bug. So
yeah. I mean, I'll say I thought that the effects of the bike riding on its own with no rider, I thought were pretty well done, actually. Yeah. The movement of its headlights to be like its eyes were, again, pretty well done.
Yeah. I'd say one of the main faults of this movie is there's too many characters. Yeah. Have it be Ralphie, his mom, and Pinko. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need Max. You don't need the Mike and the assistant. You don't need the cops. Just have it be them, and that's it.
Really don't, because then. So what would the conflict be then? So maybe Hodgkins is like the landlord of their
I mean, you can still have it. You can just have it. You can have it still be about the hot dog
still be the
stand.
doghouse?
Yeah, I mean, you can
Well,
have.
I
You
guess
can
you
just
could.
have Max be like. I mean, fake Bill Murray be like, this is an old man or something. Have like one line or something, and that'd be it.
They're taking my dog stand.
Take my dog
Ralphie.
stand, Ralphie. I need help. And then this sets off, and then I don't know. There could be like a dirt bike race. The winner gets like, I don't know, like 1,000, 100, like a lot of money, or he challenges Mr. Panko to like you bring up anybody, and if I win the race, then hot dog stand stays, or if I lose, then you get the hot dog stand, or something like that. I don't know. It's
pretty good, man.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, kind of ends anticlimactically. It was just like Ralphie figured it out, kidnaps Panko, rides to the thing, makes him promise. Basically, it's all it's like communications, and it's just like makes a promise to leave the hot dog stand alone, and then he gets dumped in a river, and that's it.
Are you surprised there's not an even shittier direct to video sequel of this?
Not really, no.
I kind of am. I thought this was actually a pretty competently made movie.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I thought this was a long movie. This movie was only an hour and a half. It felt like 3 hours long. He was like, okay, we get it. Save the fucking hot dog stand already. Okay? We get it. Just do it. Just do something. And not enough dirt bike action. It's like,
there was very little dirt bike action.
yeah, we just see a dirt bike just basically go on a table a bunch of times, and like, it should have been more dirt bike tracks and stuff like that, more tricks. So like, have a giant chase scene with the dirt bike, but I don't think there even was that. You know,
They had it at the end.
Yeah.
Obviously.
there was, yes, of course.
So, so there's the scheduled demolition of the doghouse.
Yeah.
And right before Hodgkins can push the button on the bulldozer, in come the cavalry. You know, Ralphie, his mom, the Mike and Miss
Yeah.
Clavel, yada yada. The whole baseball team. Everybody there to protest. And the best part is, Hodgkins presses the button on this bulldozer, which starts driving automatically toward the doghouse.
Yeah.
Ms. Clavel and Mike stand in front of it like
Yeah.
they're the guy at Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
And they just stand there, arms interlocked,
Yeah.
smiling like a couple of doofuses. But right before it can hit them, the dirt bike, under its own volition, right? Because it's sentient.
Yeah.
Again, nobody seems to be aware
Yeah,
of this.
nobody's like freaking out right now. This dirt bike's doing this.
The dirt bike pulls around in front of Mike and Clavel, and it literally starts pushing against the bulldozer and winning.
Yeah.
It's stronger than the
It's
bulldozer.
stronger than the bulldozer.
Somebody should be questioning.
Yeah,
this.
somebody's like, what the fuck's going on?
It's like some kind of magical dirt bike.
Yeah.
And he's like some kind of dirt bike kid.
Yeah. I wonder how good the hot dogs are at Mike's hot dog stand. whatever it's
Shitty.
called.
They're probably really bad.
But not good, you know. No.
Probably all pork.
Kids just go there because they do whatever they want. I don't think there's like hot dogs.
What did it have? Galaga or something?
Have
he was playing?
Galaga, yeah.
That's a timeless classic. I mean, Galaga is a fun arcade game.
True.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. So the dirt bike stands up to the evil bulldozer, I guess, and then when Ralphie hops back onto it, it's like magically sucks Hodgkins onto the back seat of it, and they go on this huge chase.
Yeah, I forget how he gets on that, but yeah, it's
It
a huge
does.
chase and everything. And
They're being
like,
chased by cops, by Big Slime and his motorcycle, his biker cronies, and eventually, the bike is like shakes all them off and keeps driving increasingly more dangerously, more recklessly until eventually, Hodgkins is, for fear of his life, is coerced.
Yeah.
Through the threat.
See,
of
that's
his
not high
life.
enough. You gotta do something more. I don't think that's a good ending. It's not. It's just like, I'm like, okay, I'll give up. Like, that's it? And like, no. I mean, sure, he went into the river, and that was good, too. But it needs to be, like I said, like, it needs to end in, like, big, like, climactic race scene or something. It's just
I
basically
don't
him
think
writing.
they had the budget for for like a Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
or
they need to
something.
do something. It was just like, okay, I'll do it, and that's it. And he basically kind of gets its comeuppance with the hot dog suit, and I forget what else happens. Oh yeah, the bike still chases him around. So yeah,
What did you think about the end of the movie's message? So, what do you think about the message that, hey, we can share this land with your mega bank and the doghouse?
kind of anticlimactic. I mean, shouldn't the main thing be like the hot dog stand stays and like the bank doesn't, or something like that?
Well, what it taught me is
Basically,
that
it's a win-win scenario. Like both sides win. No, it should be he loses, they win.
To me, it's an unrealistic compromise. See, a good compromise, they always say, nobody's happy with.
Yeah.
In this regard, they both essentially, aside from the hot dog suit, they both got what they wanted.
Yeah.
So it's unrealistic to kids that happened. In theory, I like the idea that we compromise, but let's be honest. Unless the city of Cincinnati's zoning board is really lax, they're not going to allow a bank and a restaurant to be on the same land.
That's true, yeah.
They're just not.
That's true. I don't know, I guess that's the dirt bike kid. I don't know.
This is the lowest energy review we've ever had. That is indeed the dirt bike kid.
That's just the dirt bike kid. This movie's not this movie's not as stupid as Tommy Tricker and the Traveling Stamp Collection. I don't know what it's called, I forget. Or it's not as lazy as the Night of the Magic Castle.
Oh my god.
This is just a movie. Just a very competent movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If you needed something for your kids, just put this on, and it's just like, it's a movie.
It's
That's
harmless. I mean, honestly, there were probably a couple times I actually audibly laughed.
Yeah.
But it's
a movie.
Kids movie.
It's a kids movie.
Competently made 80s kids movie.
I mean, sure, it has bad acting and a lot of really bad plot lines and stuff like that, but it's just a movie.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a movie, this is a movie for you.
You could do worse. I mean, I know you said it felt like it was dragging to you. I watched it in a couple installments, which I thought was perfect.
Yeah.
Probably 45 minutes, which was perfect. But yeah, I would find a minute longer would have overstayed its welcome in my opinion. A tight 90 minutes, I find most any movie can justify that. Most feature films justify that when they reach it, but you could easily cut 10, 15 minutes off this. But I never found it dragging. I liked that the characters... Here, I'll just give you my final thoughts. That's fine. I liked... this is far and away the best of the three kids' movies that you chose. It's the most competent of the three. It actually has a story with, arcs for characters to some degree. Nothing major, but actual honest-to-God effort was put into the writing of it, I think. It did leave me with some, laughs, whether they were intentional or not, laughs to myself, thinking about this mystical old man is actually an escaped mental hospital patient or something like that. Just meta stuff like that, laughing at how
why not the old man be the coach or something? Why not have him be the fucking hot dog stand owner or whatever? I don't know.
The mystic hot dog.
The mystic hot dog man owner.
Oh, this stand's been in my family for generations.
Yes.
This hot
we need to save it. I need a dirt bike kid to save my hot dog stand.
I wish somebody would Luigi Mangione that Hodgkins. I thought it was in a meta way again. I thought it was funny and jarring just how blatantly sexual assault was joked about.
Yeah.
But let that just kind of be serve as a time capsule reminder that that's just how attitudes toward women and in the workplace were in the 80s. I mean, think about it. The sexual harassment in the workplace movement, the anti-sexual harassment against women in the workplace movement, rather, didn't really become mainstream until the 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is insane to think about.
That's true, yeah.
So consider that. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
In a sad way. But I think this was a perfectly competent movie. You could do far worse if you want to put on a family movie, if you want to see what the hell Peter Billingsley did between A Christmas Story and A Christmas Story 2.
Yeah. Producing a lot of Vince Vaughn films.
He's in a lot of Vince Vaughn movies, you said?
Yeah, him and Vince Vaughn are like this. I guess that's how he
that's cool.
Became a producer and stuff.
I have no ill will toward Peter Billingsley.
Yeah, he was just a kid, and they just told him to.
And as far as kid actors go, I think he's fine in A Christmas Story.
Yeah. This not so good.
No. But he was damn fine as Ralphie. And you know what? I'll always appreciate him for that. I'm going to give the movie 3 out of 6 because it's...
Wow.
I'm going to. I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought it, as funny as it is, I don't know. The Hudsucker Proxy is just objectively a better movie.
Definitely.
But for what my expectations were for both of them, this one far exceeded my expectations in comparison to that one.
Okay.
For what it's worth.
That's cool.
Again, ratings don't mean a goddamn thing, but middle of the road, I'm fairly certain I ranked this higher than your other 2 movies that you picked.
Definitely.
And I'm obviously going to stand by that.
Okay. Like you said, this movie is a movie. This is a movie. This is definitely the most movie of the 3 I chose.
It's as movie as they come.
This is as movie as you come, yeah. Stuart Pankow was great in it. I loved his character. I thought he was really funny. I do like in the very end where the kid's about to throw the pie at him. It's like, no, respect your elders. And he just pies the kid in the face.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one.
That was funny.
Yeah. Yes, he has a photo of himself. He just kisses to make sure. Yeah. I love like his interactions with Ralphie are actually really funny. Like especially when he's trying to like, have sex with that girl, and then Ralphie keeps interrupting them. That was a good banter. Yeah, but this is a movie. If you need a movie to watch, you can watch this movie. Will you enjoy it? Probably not. It does drag. It felt like it was going on for about like 2 hours or 3 hours. 'Cause I was just waiting for the end.
Gee.
I was just waiting. I was like, come on, just end this already. Have the big race or whatever you need to do. Just do it.
Francis Ford Coppola as the dirt bike kid.
Yeah, the dirt bike kid. Just do it. I'm tired of this. Just do
3-hour
it.
cut.
Just do it. And I was waiting for it, and it happened, and it was kind of anticlimactic, I think. Even though it was funny when Stu and Packard went into the lake. That was good. Yeah, I would give this like 2 stars out of 6. This is just a movie. Is it better than all the movies I've chosen for this series? Yes, it is. But it's a movie, so I'll give it a
Thumb sideways.
thumb sideways.
Okay.
Alright.
That's cool.
Yeah, so let's see what else we got here about this movie. So it came up with the idea. This Julie Corman came up with this idea with the combining of the ideas of Jack and the Beanstalk and a real-life hot dog stand near her child's nursery school that was going to become a loan and savings business. Mm-hmm. Which I don't.
Where's Jack and the Beanstalk?
Where's Jack and the Beanstalk in this?
Is it like a metaphorical, like a corporate giant?
I guess so.
Where's the magic bean? The magic bike?
I guess so.
I mean, I can kind of see, like, just in... Not in a literal sense, but I guess I see where she's coming from.
Yeah, I guess
Whatever.
so.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, Jack and the Beanstalk? I don't get that. Julie Coleman says it lost money theatrically, but made $3 million on video. The budget was supposedly $800,000 and sold 100,000 VHS copies, which is possible. I mean, it's the 80s, the VHS boom. Well, VHS boom, maybe. I don't know. Original title of this was Crazy Wheels.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That actually somehow sucks worse than the Dirt Bike Kid,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Actually, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, he should have like become like a masked. How cool would it have been if he like became like a masked vigilante?
Yeah.
The Dirt Bike
The
Kid.
Dirt Bike Kid, yeah.
And nobody knows that it's him doing this. Like he keeps the bike in private.
Yeah.
And like his attempts to stop the bank expansion go, or like, who is the Dirt Bike Kid?
Yeah. But the thing is, though, everybody knows that magic is real, and so are magic dirt bikes. So
they're just unfazed.
it's unfazed, yeah.
Superman could crash land on Earth in this universe, and they wouldn't even bat an eye.
Yeah, they wouldn't. We got taglines for this film. Taglines. There's 2 of them. If you're crazy about magic, hot for action, ready for romance. Oh yeah, I forgot about I forgot about the assistant and Mike. And wild about winning. This movie's for you.
I'm hot for action,
Yeah,
personally.
definitely. And also, when the going gets tough, the tough go flying. Which is not really utilized a lot in this film. He flies, but it's not really like a major thing.
Doesn't Coach Mike try to like make it his thing to say when the going gets tough, the tough get going?
Yeah,
or
something like that.
And it's like, you can't, that's an idiom that everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's not like in The Dark Knight when they say, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain or whatever.
Yeah.
That's new. That's novel.
Yeah.
What Coach Mike is trying to pass off as his time-honored, wisdom is not original.
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
the thing. He was trying to be like a lazy coach or something like that, like a Buttermaker or like Bill Murray's and Meatballs, but he wasn't. He wasn't.
That's amazing.
He doesn't have the charm, like the jokey charm of those characters.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Once again, the flying doesn't really take effect in this movie. He flies a few times, but once again, the very end of the movie, if you have like a competition, he's stuck. He just flies over everybody and he wins.
Or if you
Have
insist on the kidnapping angle,
Yeah.
why not fly? Because remember earlier he flies over Cincinnati and they
Yeah.
see like the Hodgkins headquarters. Why not, if you want to really go with the fear tactic angle, have him fly?
Yeah, fly.
With Hodgkins to the over the building or
Yeah.
whatever. Sir, there's been a second Dirt Bike Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why that came from. Sorry.
Yeah.
But why not do that? Bring the flying back somehow.
Yeah.
Because it is ultimately useless. And the poster for the movie,
It's him flying.
it's him. It's Peter Billingsley flying.
Yeah, so you expect more flying, but no, they don't
Yeah.
fly that
No
often.
flying.
Yeah. And obviously, you can tell doing all the movie is just like a guy in a dirt bike. It's not.
Oh, that's the best. That
Yeah.
is the funny part that I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Is anytime you'd actually have dirt bike racing, it's clearly an adult man.
Yeah, he's clearly
Like,
an adult man.
for,
Yeah,
for Peter Billingsley.
definitely. Did not try to hide it at all. No ebook review. Surprisingly, he did not review the Dirt Bike Kid. I know, sadness.
Sad.
There's a letterbox for it, of course. 2.7 stars. Only review I liked was by James. It says, it's crazy how the Magic Dirt Bike has nothing to do with the actual part of the movie. 2.5 stars. Yeah.
True, yeah.
That's true. Yep.
funny.
So yeah, that was the Dirt Bike Kid. That's it. I guess we'll go through the top 10 films of 1985. Can you guess what place this movie is in, TJ?
4.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Out of the 191 movies I saw on Box Office Mojo, the Dirt Bike Kid did not appear. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Even after the lowest grossing film was like $2,000 domestically, it didn't beat that.
Wow. That
So
is,
once again, we don't know the numbers of it, so we don't know how much it actually made. Top 10 films in 1985 was Back to the Future. So amazing.
Yep, it really is.
Yeah.
That's a great.
What do you feel about the
trilogy, man.
sequels? I feel like the sequels...
I love them. I think that the first one obviously stands alone as a bona fide classic
Yeah.
on its own. Like one of those like. It's such a good movie. I almost like part of me almost says it's a 10 out of 10. I know it's not, but it's one of those movies
Yeah.
that's in rarefied air to me where it is just flawless in a lot of ways. I am perfectly happy with the sequels.
Yeah.
I guess if I was maybe growing up with those movies, I probably would bitch about the sequels a little more.
Mhm.
But
I
since I
haven't,
don't
I haven't
have
really seen part 2. I've seen the third one, but not really part 2. I think I've seen clips of part
I
2.
love them. I know they are far from perfect by all means
Yeah.
as movies, but I like the fact that they are their own unique things.
Yeah.
They don't just try to do what a lot of modern sequels or a lot of forgettable sequels do,
Yeah.
which is like Ape, the first one.
Mhm.
And no, they go for their own things both times. And,
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate that. I like them all.
That's cool.
It's a good trilogy. I hope it never gets touched again, frankly.
Yeah. Well, once Bob Gale passes away,
It will.
they'll hop on it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop.
Great movie.
Great movie. 2 is great. Also, more action. 3 is not
3
good.
is a movie.
3 is a movie.
Yeah.
And then there's Axel F, which is okay.
I did not see Axel F.
It was good.
Yeah, was it?
It was okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. Not the one where Rambo goes off in like a tyrant and we can't understand him. Unfortunately. Rocky 4.
Nice.
America wins, always.
Mhm.
Cocoon, number 5. Never seen Cocoon.
Never seen Cocoon,
Never seen
yeah.
Cocoon. Always wanted to see a movie where old people relive their youth. Number 6, Witness, a movie I watched with my family, and it was kind of boring, even though I thought it's one of the best Harrison Ford movies out there. Also, there was a sex scene that really was inappropriate to watch with my family. You know what Witness is about?
No.
It's about an Amish kid like witnessed a murder, and so Harrison Ford has to go undercover in the Amish community to protect him. Yeah, people say it's like one of his best movies. Yeah, it was like nominated for Oscars and everything like that. But I was watching it, I was like, this is so boring. Just like do something.
And there's some hot Amish sex.
Hot Amish sex, yes. Number 7, The Goonies, a movie that if you watched it growing up, you'll love. If you watch it now, you may not.
Yeah, that is interesting because I remember my brother got the VHS for like his birthday when he was like 10 or something, and we watched it and we were like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But now I rewatched it probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I said to myself, I can see why people enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then I have not had any desire to watch it since.
Yeah. I mean, I watched The Goonies all the time growing up, so yeah, I know, like, Chunk, this, it has a charm to it, what can I
It
say?
does, for sure.
I mean, Cyndi Lauper singing the song, and also you get the
yeah.
video with Lou Albano and all those guys. Yeah. It's a fun, I don't know, I just like it. It's a fun
It
movie.
has its charms, but it's definitely no Back to the
Yeah.
Future. Back to the Future is still
Yeah.
funny. It's still fucking
I consider it
funny.
like Hook. Like, if you watch Hook
Yeah,
now...
good comp, actually.
Yeah, you watch Hook when you were like 11, you'll love it. Watch Hook now. Like, why is it 50 minutes of an old man, and then of like a middle-aged man who's working in an office, and then the last minutes are like the good stuff. So,
Yeah.
Number 8, Police Academy 2, Their First Assignment.
Never saw it.
No. Back when they actually made money, Police Academy movies. Yeah. Number 9, Fletch.
I have not seen Fletch.
No. If you watch Fletch Confess, that's the John Hamm one.
Yeah.
Really good.
I've heard that actually is legitimately very good.
That's actually the Fletch movie, because the Fletch books, the famous detective books.
Mm-hmm.
You watch Fletch Confess, that's like actually what the Fletch character is supposed to be. And for Fletch, the movie in the 80s with Chevy Chase, it was like just beat Chevy Chase and do a bunch of characters. And that's it.
Right. My dad is a huge fan of the Fletch books.
Yeah.
And hates the Fletch movies.
Yeah.
At least I don't think he's seen the John Hamm ones. He hated the Chevy Chase ones because they're not really like the books at all, and I think because he just hates Chevy Chase as a person, which is understandable.
You know, I forget whether it was the sequel or not. It's him dressed as Magic Johnson, with all blackface.
Oh my god! I forgot about that. I've always wanted to watch the first Fletch, though, because I've heard it's really good. Yeah, and I'm sure it is.
I did watch one with him and Goldie Hawn. I forgot what it was called, but it was really good. It was based on a Neil Simon play. It was actually really funny. So
Chevy Chase, you mean?
Yeah, Chevy Chase and Neil and Goldie Hawn were in
okay.
70s Neil Simon movie together. It's actually really funny. And then number 10, A View to a Kill.
Oh, wow.
Is that the one with Christopher Walken?
Yeah, that was fucking terrible.
That's terrible.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Foul Play, by the way. The Foul Play is that Chevy Chase.
Yes. That's a good one. That's actually really good. I was watching it.
This was on my watch list because I never had heard of it, and I think I passed on it on Prime or something.
This scene called
Dudley Moore's in it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, Burgess Meredith, though.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Check that out. It was
Brian Dennehy plays a character named Fergie. Do you think it's the singer Fergie?
Maybe. Yeah. It was really funny. I liked it. It was really funny. And that was the top 10 films of 1985. Did I ever ask you what ranking of View to the Kill is in your James Bond ranking? It's probably low.
It's I think it might be second or third to last.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So what's the worst?
Let me be clear. I love them all except for the non-official ones.
Yeah.
I don't like Never Say Never Again. I know a lot of people actually do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good for them. I don't care for it. Casino Royale from the 60s is fucking terrible.
Yeah. What about the new Casino Royale? Is that actually good?
Oh, that's a top 3.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot which ones people hate now. Which ones of the new ones they don't like. It was
Spectre.
Spectre, they hate that one.
Yeah. They don't like Spectre because it rewrites his origin. I never had any issue with that. I thought Spectre was a fine movie. The last one, No Time to Die, was kind of middle of the road. Mm-hmm. Probably more toward the back end.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, people didn't seem to care for Spectre or No Time to Die, I would say the most. Okay. Skyfall, people love. Skyfall is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum of Solace, I think, is aged pretty well. I think it's considered more highly now than when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
That one was unfortunately hurt a lot by the writer's strike.
Yeah.
But Casino Royale is kind of universally understood as a top 1 or 2 or 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that was our review of The Dirt Bike Kid. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see. Should we do it before the wheel? So do the thing? No, let's do it now. Let's spin the wheel now.
Spin
the wheel
baby.
now. We have 2 more movies on here: Inside Llewyn Davis and The Man Who Knew Too Much, or as I put it, The Who Knew Too Much, because I spelled it wrong on the spinner. So let's see who we got. Here we go, baby. Inside Llewyn Davis. Prepare some folk, people, from the 1960s.
How many roads must a man walk down?
Yeah. So, yes, thank you for listening. If you like us, please like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to listen to this podcast. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and
YouTube, Spotify.
And SoundCloud.
Yes.
That's it, yes. We have a Twitter. I think I'm going to get rid of it. I forgot the passcode. And also, Twitter is a terrible place that deserves to die. We also have a Facebook page, The Student of Us. If you guys want to follow that, we keep updates to fun things, if TJ posts on there or not, and also new episodes. So thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing and everything like that. I'm Mo, and I'm a BMX kid now. So.
And I'm TJ, and I'll see you all next time.
Let's have Robert Mitchum play us out. Goodbye, everybody.